Hello again. In this section, I'm going to show you some words that will help you express cause, effect, or contrast. All right? So let's start with some words that will help you express cause and effect. You may be familiar with these words. You know the word because. Yes, it's very common. It's the one that we use when we answer a question that starts with why. Why do you do that? Because. When we ask why, we're asking for the cause of something. So when we say because, we're saying this be the cause. This is the cause. So that's why we have the word because. The cause being, the cause is. And the word because that you already know has some synonyms. It means that there are words that express a similar relationship between elements that they connect in a sentence. We'll see that in a moment. So when you hear the word since, even though since may be used to talk about time, it is also used to talk about cause and effect. The word for, that can be a preposition, like when we say this is for you, that for is a preposition, but actually this can also be a conjunction. Actually, we call most of these words conjunctions because they join elements in a sentence. So for is just also a synonym of because. We have therefore, and we have so, thus, and hence, and they are all basically synonyms of because or since, because they express a relationship. Let me tell you this way. These words connect two or more elements in a sentence or paragraph. All right? A sentence may have two parts. A paragraph may have several sentences. And the presence of these connectors, that we also call them, establish a relationship of cause and effect. We have to read the text carefully. We need to read the sentence and understand it so that we can identify of these elements that are joined here, which is the cause and which is the effect. Okay, so in this section, in the next 5 videos actually, I am going to give you some opportunities for you to practice using these words to identify causes and effects and actually deciding which ones are the most appropriate for each situation. Let me give you some examples so that you can see what we're talking about. The first one, I'm not going to the game today because I have a terrible cold. I have the word because. What happens before? I am not going to the game today. Okay, that is a fact. And what happens afterwards? I have a terrible cold. So which one of those is the cold? I'm sorry. Which one of those is the cause of what happened? As you can see, the cold is the cause of the person not going to the game. When we have the word because, what follows after because is the cause. Like the cause is this, and the effect is what was mentioned on the other side of that word. So the person is not going to the game today. What is the cause? The person has a cold. Next, John wasn't feeling well, therefore he didn't go to the game. John wasn't feeling well and he didn't go to the game are the two elements that are joined here. So which one is the cause? So you have to analyze it, and actually, because we have the word therefore is anticipated, let's say, by the cause. So the cause is there, and as a result, he didn't go to the game. So the effect would be that the person didn't go to the game. All right? We also have some words that can help you express contrast. All right? So contrast. Think of contrast. Every time I think of contrast, I think of the color white and the color black, of good and evil. When we think of something that is something that we like and something that we don't like, there is contrast there. The words that will help you express contrast are these. But, that you already know it, but is very, very common when I say I like it, but something. So that but, B-U-T, is one word that introduces some contrast. We'll see it in a moment. But these other words like however, nevertheless, although, unlike, which is not a conjunction, but I wanted to include it here because it also helps us express contrast. Unlike, while, and even so, they are words that introduce contrast. Let me show you some examples to prove that they also connect two elements in a sentence or in a paragraph and establish a relationship. But in this case, the relationship is of contrast between them, between the two elements that we are joining. Let's see it in an example. He wanted to go to the game. Yes, he's very excited. He wanted to go to the game. But now, what we expected from him being very willing and anxious, eager to go to the game, but he wasn't feeling well. He wasn't feeling well means that, oh, bummer. He wanted to go to the game. He wasn't feeling well. So for that reason, probably he couldn't go to the game. But what we're saying here is that what we expect on one side of the equation is opposite to what we find on the other side of the equation, in this case of the sentence. All right? So look at the other example. John didn't go to the game. He didn't go to the game. So that is like negative, right? He didn't go to the game. Although he really wanted to. Oh, he wanted to go, but he didn't go. So the two things kind of contradict each other, and that's why we are in the presence of some relationship of contrast. All right? That is the idea. So with that understanding, I want you to do the following activity. Analyze the following sentences and decide whether they express a relationship of contrast or a relationship of cause and effect. All right? Let's see the first one. It says, although the weather here is usually sunny, Sebastian always carries a jacket. Let's see. Weather, nice. Carries a jacket means that you're cold or you're expecting a shower, rain. So in that case, what relationship is there between the weather being sunny and he carrying a jacket? Think for a moment. All right, the answer is that is a relationship of contrast. One thing kind of contradicts the other. All right, that's it. That's all you have to do. Decide whether it's contrast or cause and effect. Next, Santiago saved some money to buy the latest video game. Okay, he saved some money to buy the latest video game. But it wasn't enough. If it wasn't enough, that is not good. He saved some money, it wasn't enough, so that is contrast. Very good. All right, and actually we have the word but there. It helps a lot to see it there because you already know that. You learn that but is a word that expresses contrast. The next one. Mary didn't come to school the day of the presentation of our projects. Hence, she got a low grade. She didn't come to school, she got a low grade. What is that? Cause and effect. Yes. So the cause being she didn't come to school, the result, the effect is she got a low grade. Next. My parents gave up sugar because it was affecting their health. My parents gave up sugar. So it means that they stopped eating sugar, putting sugar in their food, because it was affecting their health. You already got it by now. The cause was that it was affecting their health. So the result, they stopped eating sugar. So this is a relationship of cause and effect. Next, Laura tried really hard. However, she couldn't memorize the lines for her part in the play on time. Laura tried really hard. She was preparing herself for this. However, she couldn't memorize. She was not able to memorize the lines for her part. It means the role that she was playing in a piece of theater in the play on time. So she couldn't be on the play or in the play. So that is a relationship of Yes, contrast. Finally, before we listen to the pronunciation of all of them, since we didn't get the tickets on time, we won't go to the concert. Not getting the tickets, not being able to go to the concert, there is no contrast there. It is cause and effect. What is the cause that they didn't go to the concert? They didn't get the tickets on time. So that is a relationship of cause and effect. All right? So thank you very much for being with me. I'm going to pause my camera right now, and you're going to listen to the pronunciation of these sentences. All right? So listen to him, please.
Although the weather here is usually sunny, Sebastian always carries his jacket. Santiago saved some money to buy the latest video game, but it wasn't enough. Mary didn't come to school the day of the presentation of our projects, hence she got a low grade. My parents gave up sugar because it was affecting their health. Laura tried really hard, however she couldn't memorize the lines for her part in the play on time. Since we didn't get the tickets on time, we won't go to the concert.
All right. Thank you very much for being with me here on the beginning of this new section. And I'm going to see you in the next video, in which we are going to talk about relationships of contrast or cause and effect, but with some exercise in which you have to produce some answer. So ready for the next practice? I'll see you there.